Should the MCU have ended after Avengers Endgame? That is the question that we're going to be exploring today for you guys as we take a look at not only my opinion but also your guys' opinions at home, as we did a poll over a week ago now and we have the results from that poll, and I want to know the answer to this annoying question, and so we can put this question to bed once and for all. However, before we get onto that, just do us a massive favour, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. Those two things, easy as pie, free as you would like, and this would help us to make more videos just like this one. Wow, the poll results absolutely shocked me, as I thought that many people might actually turn around and go, you know what, the MCU should have ended with Endgame. However, a lot of people had their heads on and thought, no what, it doesn't deserve to end here, and they didn't give a reason why, and obviously this is the reason why I think you guys have picked the no option. As some of the projects that we've seen post Endgame are fantastic. Spider-Man No Way Home, Loki seasons 1 and 2, we've seen Hawkeye, we've seen all these great characters being explored that which we didn't see previously before Endgame. And I like how they've gone and explored different characters, and I think now more than ever we're wanting to see what's going to happen for the future, and there's a lot of people out there that's probably picked no because they're optimistic for the next movie and the next movie. And looking at this year especially, Deadpool 3's coming out, and that's going to have Hugh Jackman as Wolverine in there as well, and it's going to be looking like a multiversal movie, and to me that is something to get optimistic about. And the new Avengers movies that are going to come out, I think in 2025 and 2026, they're still on the horizon as well, so there's a good chance that MCU fans are sort of being hyped up for these next few movies that are coming in the line, and that is a reason why I think many of you guys pick no, is because there's so much to look forward to. On this, I also think that the optimism doesn't end there, as I think a lot of people are excited for the likes of Fantastic Four and the likes of Blade and Ghost Rider, these potential big characters being explored in the MCU, in which if we'd ended after Endgame we wouldn't have explored into much detail. With this multiversal stuff as well, there's also a chance for big crossovers, in which I think is more optimistic than anything that we've seen in the MCU post Endgame so far, as we saw glimpses of it in No Way Home and Multiverse of Madness, but we're gonna explore that on a bigger scale. We don't know, but the MCU might be able to deliver that sort of crossover stuff that we want to see. Maybe like, I don't know, fucking Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man meeting Wolverine, let's say, something mad like that. That would be really, really cool to see in the MCU. And I think it's not out the range of possibility neither. I also think that there's a lot of people out there that probably say no as well, simply for the fact that they don't want to, even though we're on a bad run of form with the MCU, just coming off the Marvels and a few other bad TV shows like Secret Invasion and a few other bad things. I haven't watched Echo yet, so I can't comment on that. But I think we've just come off a few bad projects, and I think the MCU doesn't look great at the minute. But at the same time, I wouldn't hate on it too much, as they've always been able to, even in the rough patches in the MCU, be able to pull out a great movie. And to be fair, there's no competition neither with the MCU. I think that if you look at the MCU's money-wise that they're bringing in, I don't think there's much competition. DCU at the minute cannot get to them heights that the MCU's at. However, not everybody said no. There's a lot of people, 44% of people, said yes. Why did they say yes? That's what we're going to explore now. I'm in the middle here in this argument of the MCU should have ended at Endgame. To me, I'm more in the middle, leaning more to no. But I would have an argument for saying yes at the same time. And for all those people thinking, oh, they're just idiots, these people have voted yes and everything like that. If you look at it from a logical point of view, if you look at Endgame, that was like the peak of the MCU. They're never going to get to those levels again. However, they did get close to it with Spider-Man No Way Home. I'm not judging that. However, it weren't no Endgame. And to me, Endgame's like your benchmark for every superhero movie to aim for now. And to me, for you looking in the future of the MCU, are they going to be able to beat that? Probably not. And that's why I said, if you're not going to be able to beat your biggest movie, then shouldn't you try to walk away from the franchise? That was my point of view from that. And the reason why many other people might have said, well, you're not going to get any better than that. Maybe you should have ended it after Endgame. And of course, it was the perfect ending for most of the major MCU characters. But obviously, I think there was still a lot of story to be told. And I think that's why the MCU chose to carry on. But there was an exit point there for the MCU to just end. And it would have been one of the greatest endings for that franchise, in my opinion. However, What I would say is, as well, on the yes sides of things, you've got to look at it and think, in the last few years, especially post Endgame, we've seen a lot of crap movies. Let's go over a few of them. The Eternals was dog shit. I weren't a big fan of Wakanda Forever. It was a good tribute to Chadwick Boseman, but other than that, it was quite averagely shit. Other movies like the Marvels, and the list goes on and on of the bang average MCU movies. And TV shows, let's not even forget about those. I didn't rate Moon Knight, in my opinion. I weren't a big fan, probably because I'm not into all that Egyptian shit and whatever. But also, I weren't really a massive fan of the She-Hulk one, because I think the ending just ruined it. They had the potential to make a great TV show, and the ending of Breaking the Fourth Wall, now, not a big fan of that. Secret Invasion was boring as shit. Yeah, I think that the MCU have got themselves into a little bit of a strut recently. And I think if you look back and think, the MCU never really got into that same strut that we're seeing now. So really, they could have ended it at Endgame on top of the world, and then maybe took a few years off, and then maybe thought about bringing the franchise back with spin-offs and stuff, and have things well thought out, as that doesn't seem to be a thing in the MCU, and there isn't really a clear plan neither. And I think that might be a reason why a lot of you guys probably said yes as well, because we don't see a clear plan with the MCU. We don't see, no pun intended, a clear end game for the entire MCU franchise to go. Whereas we sort of had an inkling where it was building to when it was the whole Infinity Stone saga, when we knew that the end game was on the horizon, and we knew what we was building towards. I'm still unsure what we're building towards. And even the stuff now with the Kang situation, that's made this whole thing for Marvel and Disney even more complicated. So it wouldn't surprise me if this new villain isn't going to live up to the hype of what we wanted. And I know many people made the argument that Kang didn't really live up to the hype that people was going over. But to me, I actually didn't mind Kang. But I think now they've got to make up a reason why Kang's now no longer in the picture. So they're in a little bit of a sort of pickle. I would turn around and say that they need to probably look for their endgame, probably in the last two Avengers movies. So hopefully now we've made this more clearer so that your decision will become easier, breaking down the yes and no's. In my opinion, I believe from looking at your poll results and looking at the reasons why and why not of the MCU ending at Endgame and not ending at Endgame, I would probably lean more to no. But your opinions still count in the poll, so if you still want to get your votes heard, get into the poll down in the comments down below. Click that link, it'll take you straight to the poll. Put your vote in, easy as pie, and you get your votes heard. And we may do a future video reacting to more poll results and more data that we can analyze and go over more reasons why. And if you've enjoyed this video, guys, don't forget to hit that like button. It would really help boost this video. Subscribe as well while you're at it. And if you haven't done yet, click a video on screen, and I shall see you guys in the next one. Laters.